husband and I have been together for over 10 years. While I was 7 months pregnant with our first child, I found an enormous amount of pictures and videos of naked women downloaded on his phone.
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Was she just oblivious that he was cranking hog, or what? Say cranking
Cranking
hog?
hog.
Can you not say cranking hog?
No, you can definitely say cranking
Oh,
hog.
okay.
I've never heard that in my life.
It's very popular thing right now on the Instagrams.
Definitely on the Instagrams. Okay, let's get into the show. Sound advice, how can I help you? Welcome to the show, Jayse.
Thank you so much for having me, Beba.
You're so welcome. How do you feel being on Sound Advice?
I am very excited to be on Sound Advice. Honestly, as soon as I knew that you were getting your own podcast, I thought, I want to be on that podcast with Beba.
Oh, I hope everyone feels that way.
Well, I do, because every time we film together, we have a blast.
We do have a blast.
At least I tell myself that.
No,
you
no,
might
no.
secretly just be like, God, I hate him.
No, there's some.
But you fake it well.
No, I don't fake it. There are people.
She doesn't fake it. If you watch the last episode,
I don't
she
fake
does
it.
talk about women. They
Well,
do fake it.
yeah,
though,
yeah.
but
In a past life, for sure. I am too grown to be faking orgasms.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to Sound Advice. I'm Beba, your host. This is Jayse, a reactor who you love, and obviously Nicole.
Who we
Yay.
love.
Who we love.
Who we
Well,
definitely
still
love.
call me Nicole Plackey.
I like Nicole
I'm just
Plackey
like
for you.
warming the seat, keeping it here for him until he feels ready to return.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Kevin Plackey is taking some time to deal with some personal issues. He's still part of the family. Hopefully he will come back. We wish him the best. We love him. We miss him.
We miss you
Yeah.
We miss you.
deeply.
We miss you, Placky. I hope you're watching Newsies.
He's just at home. He's like, I have to take time off because I have to watch Newsies.
Whilst drinking hot cocoa.
Yeah, he's had 25 hot cocos today.
Yeah.
We ask every reactor this question.
Oh.
How
ooh.
sound is your advice?
I think my advice is pretty sound. I feel like I'm like a young sage. Like I feel like I've got spirit elders of old and new just watching out for me, and I like to pass that wisdom along.
I love that. And I agree with that.
Really?
I do. I think you have, there's like a vibe too that it's like if you told me to do something, I'd be like, yeah, okay,
I can trust that.
I can trust that. You're also a parent,
Yes.
which makes your advice stronger. It holds more weight.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
I didn't get that until I was a parent.
Okay, well, we'll find out how sound your advice really is when we get into our first voicemail. But before we do that, guys, if you want to call in and leave a voicemail asking for advice, please call the number on the screen, which is, you ready for this? 805-601-7259. That's right. I memorized it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You could call and you can text.
And you can text, which, by the way, we got a text recently, a pretty good text that I think we'll do in a couple episodes from now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you're like, I don't want my voice to be on here, because most people want to be anonymous when they ask advice, because some are it's very vulnerable to call in and know that your voice is going to be on a public forum and like you're spilling your guts. So if you want to really stay anonymous, send a text.
Or use a voice changing app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do like the Scream guy.
Yeah.
And just
I mean, that's a
give us
little
a scary
creepy.
call.
No, just send us a text message.
Just send us a
Oh,
text.
okay. Just send a text
So
then.
don't listen to Jayse. Okay, should we get into our first voicemail?
I'm excited.
I'm
I
so
can't
pumped.
wait to hear about
I mean, we
this.
got a little snippet of it, but I'm
Oh, yeah.
pumped.
Let me hear about this guy's stash. Where was he hiding it? On a hard drive? How did he try to hide it? I've tried to hide it, and guess what? My wife will find it.
Yeah, well, that's usually the
She's a
truth
detective.
always comes out.
She is a detective.
All right, let's hear it.
My husband and I have been together for over 10 years and married for 5. While I was 7 months pregnant with our first child, I found an enormous amount of pictures and videos of naked women downloaded on his phone. I then discovered he spent quite a bit of money on OnlyFans and has never put a dime into our joint savings account. He openly told me that he has been struggling with this addiction long before we began dating and has been seeking help from friends and wants to stop. We've now had the baby and he's a fantastic father, but now that I'm postpartum, I feel ugly. He has seen hundreds of beautiful naked women online, and I feel extremely insecure and self-conscious and cannot even fathom having intercourse again with the way I am now, mentally and physically. Is there any hope of getting over this? I would love your advice.
No, this is
This is
loaded.
really hitting close to home. I feel like, right? No, I mean, it's just like
The postpartum of it
the
all.
postpartum
Totally.
and like
yeah.
like my wife like not feeling like she's herself again, not feeling like this is her body, it's the kid's body, it's no longer hers, she doesn't own it, and it's like
It's so
it's very
complex.
relatable, and like how that makes her feel. I can't speak on this because I'm not a mom, but just watching a mom go through this
Yeah.
is very difficult. And
And
trying
then
to like build her up and be like, no, I love you so much. Like, I'm still a creep. Like, please let me creep on you.
Yeah,
And,
totally. That's part of the advice, right? Well, before we get into it, what is your stance on partners looking at porn, naked photos of women? I guess also just generally speaking, like checking other people out. What's your experience in that? Are you into it? Do you care? Does it bother you? Are you jealous?
I don't care what Lindsay does or my partner. I don't really care if she like checks out somebody else or if like I don't.
You're not like
she really
intimidated
watched
by
porn. Yeah, like maybe early on in our relationship she did, but I don't think she really does anymore. But like,
Well.
I never really cared, but I was like super desensitized as a kid, exposed to it way too early, and I probably still enjoy it way too much. But you know,
You
that's
and every
just me
boy.
being honest. Yeah, I'm like I'm an open book, you know. So yeah, but I do think that it takes away from like Lindsay will say, like it takes away from us being able to connect. It takes away from like intimacy.
Yeah.
Like she's like, well, then maybe you don't want to like initiate it as much because you've already taken care of it.
Exactly.
And men are so dumb. We're just like, blurp, 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 got to get this out, got to get out the poison, let it go.
Yeah.
Like we just,
How about you, Nicole? Do you care if your partner is looking at porn or?
Yeah, there are a lot of good and healthy things about watching porn, especially if you're doing it like appropriately and if you do it
Sometimes
with your
together.
partner. Yeah, sometimes together, like
Yeah.
couples engage in watching porn.
Sure.
But if you're doing it with the intent of like, ooh, I think I could boop all these people, that's where it feels a little. I'm sorry, I keep saying boop. I know
It's a lot.
Sounds like my mom calling a vagina a kitty right now. I'm definitely
that's
giving that
worse.
a lot.
That's
Yeah,
worse.
it's
You should
worse.
call
It's
it
horrible.
vagina.
It's horrible. That's what I'm saying. It's giving me that same sort of. I'm like, just say bang or something or. Boop. Oh my gosh.
No, you're right though. Finding like thousands of naked photos.
Like, who downloads them though these days? You know what I mean? Like, does this guy not know about streaming? Or like, I
No,
don't
I know.
have
Yeah.
OnlyFans, so does like you have to download the content and that's how you
No,
watch
I don't
it? Or
think
like,
so. I think it's on the app. I've never done OnlyFans either. Like I haven't like explored.
so if you
the
download
app.
it, you have it forever. If you don't keep paying, maybe then you can't keep streaming it. So that's why he downloaded
Well, I
it.
feel like OnlyFans is a little different too because it's more of that parasocial relationship with a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Versus if you're just on like a porn hub and watching,
Sure.
Streaming some sort of
like they're not
video.
engaging with you.
No.
Whereas OnlyFans, a lot of those creators are talking directly to their audience.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of does feel a little different.
That's definitely different.
I just don't even understand okay, we should say this. She said that he has been struggling with this and it's somewhat of an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Addiction is addiction. That's like
Yeah.
a real disease no matter what you're struggling with, alcoholism, drugs, sex addiction. If he's saying to her like, hey, I've been struggling with this before we even started dating, they've been together 10 years.
Yeah.
And, he was hiding it from her and the truth always comes out. I think it's like, it sucks the timing of it, but at least now she knows. So there's an
Okay,
opportunity
fair.
for her to be like there for him. It's just hard when you find it 7 months pregnant
Yeah.
and then you're in this postpartum
Headspace.
hell.
Yeah.
Hell, let's
Yeah,
be real, especially
yeah.
when you just have a baby. That's a whole mix of bad stuff. That's a lot of bad stuff going on. So that sucks.
Yeah. That's
that
horrible.
sucks. But
So, okay, can I play devil's advocate just for a second?
Please.
So, if he was upfront with her about this, he did tell her that he had this sex addiction. I can also relate because I was also very upfront about this with my wife, and I was like, I had some abuse going on when I was a kid, and I'm desensitized, and I definitely do this. Like, I just want you to know,
Yeah.
right? And then over time, once you're with someone for a long time, it's like, oh, you're still doing that? It's like, oh, you still play
Yes.
video games? I'm like, I do when I can, when I get the time, if I have the energy, as a dad, but or a parent in general.
yeah.
But so I will say maybe there was this, and I don't know, obviously we have no context, but maybe there was this level of like, okay, she said she was okay with it in the beginning, but now I feel like she's not okay with it. So now I've reverted back to hiding it from her. Am I just projecting my entire life onto this situation?
No, you're
or
absolutely
does
right.
that-
The aspect of hiding is the red flag.
Yes.
To me, because I
Yes.
think in any relationship, in any partnership,
He feels ashamed. Right?
shame and
Yeah.
guilt in a relationship, it's not going to work.
No.
You have to be open and honest about what's going on, what you desire, especially even if it's freaky deaky. You got to be like, look, I'm obsessed with OnlyFans. I like looking at other girls, and I love you so much. And you're the mother of the child that we built.
I still want to finish on your feet, okay?
Oh.
Just to be clear. No? Can't say that?
All right. Nope. Well, you definitely can.
Oh, well, I didn't swear.
No, I know. we were
really weird ways to get around it.
Well, clearly this guy
We
likes
were-
to finish on feet. I have that already in my head.
You like
we were
it's-
reacting to the comments, not the.
Jesus. Wow. I'd rather you curse, I think.
Wait, what?
No. No, I agree. There's like the shame aspect
Yes.
is the thing that's making him that like fuels addiction, I feel like. You know what I mean? I
It's a
think
cycle. It
I
is,
think
totally. You
he,
feed off of that.
Yeah. I think she has to come to him. Here's my advice. I think you have to go to him and be like, I need you to tell me everything. I want you to tell me when you're feeling like you need to download 500 more photos of naked women. Like, let me in on it to like give me a chance to please you. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
like, what are you looking for in this moment? If
That you're not getting from me.
right, and
Yeah.
it's like, let me try and see what I can do. Like, maybe there's a way to kind of shift the relationship a little bit sexually where he does feel like he doesn't need to do that. You know?
Yeah.
But the shame and guilt that he feels, that's the thing for me where I'm like, that can't happen in a relationship. You can't feel guilt or shame about anything. I have a lot of Catholic guilt too.
I was going to say, were you raised Catholic too? Because
And my
it's
husband
like
was
so
too.
much shame
Yeah.
around sex specifically
Yes.
too. It's like that's like ingrained in you as a Catholic.
Masturbating,
Yeah.
I hate saying that word.
It's a
I
sin.
Keep saying it.
It's a sin.
It's a sin, but it's like what a beautiful thing to like love yourself enough to give yourself pleasure. There's nothing wrong with that. And I
Only
feel
God can give you that.
I only think about God. That's why I don't watch porn.
Understandable.
I close my eyes and I think about God. My God.
What
is
about
an
you?
awesome
What about
God.
you? You got to ask us.
Yeah,
So,
so I have-
so what is your stance on porn? What is how about you and your partner? Do you talk about it? Do you?
I mean, live, laugh, love is my stance. Do whatever you want. I don't. The way that my relationship works with my husband is very much like we are two very independent people. You go do your thing, I go do my thing, and that's like our love language. That turns me on. That he's just like, go off, queen, like do your thing, and same for him. But it's like he watches porn. I don't watch porn. I watch. Everybody knows this. I watch pottery TikTok.
Yeah, that guy. But that's you know
it's porn in
he's
a
turning
way.
you on. Yeah, for
He's
sure.
doing things for
He's
me.
doing
So,
things for you.
so no, it's not an issue in my relationship. And we talked about this a little bit, but it's like me and my husband, if there's like a hot girl, we'll be like, that girl's really hot. Or if there's a hot guy, I'll be like, do a double take. And he's like, I was like, what?
What?
What do you, I'm not dead.
I'm like a raccoon. I like
have
shiny
eyes.
things. Yeah,
I can see that man
gorgeous.
is very attractive. Live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think the shame and guilt part of this is like the biggest red flag.
For sure. For me, that's like I hear her. Obviously, she's the one who's feeling this. She's in the
Yeah.
postpartum. But there's two sides to every story. Somewhere in between is the truth.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
But I think the advice is to like just talk to your man and just be like, look, open up to me. I'm here. Like if you're ride or die, tell him I'm ride or die. Whatever freaky thing you like.
here's my advice
Yeah, tell us.
for the guy. Go to a hardware store or a electronic store for like $49. Get yourself an external hard drive. If you have to download, just download it. Hide that hard drive somewhere. Don't keep it on your computer. Don't keep it somewhere where she can find it. Do you have to download it? What's wrong with
No,
streaming?
don't
No,
do
is this
that.
wrong? That's not the kind of advice we're looking for. Okay, the advice for me is talk it out as partners. Be honest with each other. Radical honesty. That's what me and my partner do. Like I literally just
Yes.
tell her everything I've ever f***ed up. Every time I've done something really stupid, I come to her and I tell her. Otherwise, it'll just eat me alive with
Yes.
guilt. And I just have to tell her all the things. And I've done plenty of dumb things with my current partner, and she's like, "You're an idiot."
And
then
you're
we
like,
get
I
over it.
know.
Yeah, I know.
No, wait, I have another piece of advice. Sit down with this guy meaning your husband, and say, show me these photos. And then be like, oh, that girl's really hot. Oh, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
That's not the angle I thought you were taking.
I just think
I want you to look at every one of these with me.
No.
Well, I feel jealousy.
Put
and
like
you
a shock
feel it
collar on
too.
him and then shock him with every photo.
She's just watching
and
his
'cause-
pants. Nope.
Wow.
Nope. Too much?
Always too much.
It's an OnlyFans episode, guys. Like, are
Nicole.
we not supposed to talk about...
Tell us what you're gonna say.
I forgot.
Well,
Sorry, Nicole.
I'll finish my thought. Just go tell him like I want to see the photos. I want to see the girls that you're into. Because then I think that would get rid of his shame a little bit. The hiding of it, and being like, let me see. And not being like judgmental don't be judgmental. There's probably some weird stuff that you do that you haven't let him in on. Like, just be like, show me your stuff.
Yeah.
It might
What
open
weird
you up
stuff
to
do
a
you
new
do?
That's what I'm
world.
saying. You might discover some sort of like commonality between all of these that you didn't even like think about.
And he could probably also do a better job of telling her how he feels about her, telling her she's still beautiful, building up her confidence. Like, do we know is he doing this, or if he's just like, nope, crank and hog, can't do it, go away.
Enough with the
you know
cranking
what I mean?
hog. My God. No, but
we know from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. I'm cranking hog, hun. So
is that how long it takes?
no,
It shouldn't.
But how long does this guy take? He's got so many downloaded. This guy is just behind the times technology-wise. You know what I mean?
He doesn't know what's going
he's
on.
still on dial-up.
He's
and
on
just
VHS.
Like, I'm like, are you
Okay,
watching
but-
like little GIFs? Like, what are we doing?
Little gifts, Tumblr. Remember that? I used to get off on Tumblr. Okay.
And I touch myself.
Okay. Regarding postpartum, though, that is a real thing.
Yes.
My advice, first and foremost, do not externalize your feelings about your body and what you're going through and the hormonal changes happening inside of you with what's going on with your husband, because those are two separate things. His addiction to naked photos, naked videos of women, it has nothing to do with like her or her body or any of that. Like, you also it sounds like she just had a baby.
Yeah.
You know this because you have a wife who has had 2 babies.
Yeah.
I know this because I have a child. It takes time for your body to heal from having a baby. And I would say for me personally, it really took almost 2 years for my hormones to kind of get back to normal.
Yes.
It takes a long time. It's like, you've heard the flamingo thing?
No. What's the
Flamingos lose their pink when they have a baby.
Really?
And it's like the most beautiful personification of really what happens to a human woman.
Yes.
Because
you lose so much of your
takes
nutrients too.
everything out of you, emotionally, physically, psychologically,
You can get
mentally.
gray hair because it's like taking all your vitamins and nutrients from you, literally.
It's no joke
Yeah.
to have a baby. And like, girl, you did it. Proud of you. Amazing. But like, give yourself time to feel back into your body. It's not going to take, it may not even take a year. It might take more time. And that's okay. Like, but don't worry about what's going on with your husband and then also your postpartum body and feeling sexy. You will get back to that place. You will. It's like women have been doing this forever, and like you eventually get back and you're like, I'm feeling myself. I'm really
Yes.
hot and I'm a mom. Whoa.
Right?
You're a MILF.
And you knew about the addiction. So it's not like it's because he thinks you're unattractive now that he's
No.
started this addiction.
No.
You knew about it before.
That is a
You're
really good-
still beautiful.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, that has not been a new development.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It didn't, right. It wasn't a reaction to something. It was
Yeah.
just like, it's been there. But can I tell you a story? When I was,
Well, I say, so clearly this girl is hot too.
yeah,
Like,
totally.
that's my takeaway, is that
This
she
girl's hot.
already was gorgeous.
She was
Like,
already hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he got this stash. It's okay. We won't bash the husband.
We won't bash the
We won't
husband
bash the
anymore.
husband. Okay. Sorry.
When I had my baby, this is so unhinged of me.
Oh my God, yes.
6 weeks postpartum. 6 weeks. I brought out all of my pre-pregnancy jeans, and I was like,
God.
time to try them on.
Why?
Time to make sure that they still fit. And obviously, it was a devastating 30 minutes of me being like, okay, well, my body will never be the same again. And this is how I look now. And I'm ugly and whatever. And it's like, first of all, hormones are still raging through your body. And like, of course, 6 weeks after I had a baby, I was not going to look or feel the same as I did pre-pregnancy. That by the way, pre-pregnancy, that'll never happen again. You know, that body, that
You're not
person.
Ballerina Farm Girl or whatever her name is.
No. It's also like, I don't want to be that girl. I had a life-changing thing. You had a life-changing thing. Like, that's beautiful. And that makes you sexy and hot. And
Yes.
like, feel into that like feminine, womanly thing. Like, your confidence comes from how positively you think about yourself, not about how hot you are, how much water you drink, how hard you work out, how well you eat. It comes from you being like, I'm the hottest girl in the room. That's confidence. It's just a state of mind. So like, almost like convince yourself of that.
I love that.
Because confidence is sexy.
Yeah.
Confidence is
Yeah, that's
sexy.
universal. That's not just for moms. That's for
Yeah, yeah.
everybody. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
hitting on all levels. Thank you for that, Beba. I like
All right.
All right. Should we get into the second voicemail?
that. Yes.
Are you ready?
Okay,
yes.
My dad is a narcissist, and lately talking, and my mom says that's a good thing because my relationship with him wasn't very healthy, and a part of me still wants that connection with him, but another side of me is like, he's done bad things to me before. I want to forgive him, and I want that connection. It's just really confusing, and I'm really in a hard position right now, so I don't know what to do. So what's your advice?
That's heartbreaking.
I'm gonna cry.
Her hurt in her voice that like makes me very sad.
I know,
that, like,
it makes
doesn't
me
have a relationship with her dad, and
like
she wants
yearns
that
for
connection,
one.
and like she's only, what is she, 13? Like her voice sounded so young.
What if it's your daughter? She was like, my dad's
God,
a
I hate you
narcissist.
so
I'm
much.
sorry.
There's some additional information from the caller. Her dad posted on Facebook that he wanted nothing to do with her and then called her a couple of days later like nothing ever happens.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Is he struggling with mental illness?
He's a narcissist, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Narcissism is a mental illness in a
Sure.
way. Can we
Okay.
define narcissism?
Can you spell
Yeah, there's
narcissist?
a lot of different types of narcissism.
Can you spell
right?
narcissist?
Let's
do it together.
Narcissi. Wait, narcissist.
S-T.
S-T,
Yep.
yeah. Let's go. I'm a covert narcissist.
We're narcissists.
What kind of narcissist are you?
We're all a little bit covert narcissists because we have chosen to be in front of the camera.
This is true.
A
So-
narcissist is someone with a personality disorder, a mental health condition that causes people to have an inflated sense of their own importance and lack of empathy for others.
See, that's the only one I don't have. I do have empathy. I do have empathy. Those are the things, though. They definitely.
Have you ever dealt with a narcissist? Do you have a narcissist in your life or had one?
Yes.
You don't have to name names, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, she's probably not gonna watch this, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I grew up with someone who was mentally ill as my parent. So
Yeah.
You get certain versions. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah. So sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on the day.
Yeah, I've definitely dealt with narcissism. It's tough, my God. Narcissists, parents in particular, that's a really, really brutal upbringing because, at least from my experience,
Okay, dish.
I never had a space for my feelings to land. Any feeling that was not joy or happiness was not allowed.
Okay.
So there was a lot of like, if there was like anger or sadness,
Sweep it under the rug.
it wasn't necessarily sweeping it under the rug because I have to express myself. Like that is the kind of person I am. My feelings have to come out of my body. So I would isolate. I'd go away, cry, punch a pillow, scream into the void, like whatever it is I needed to do, I would do it alone. And so I got very comfortable with like, I don't need anybody to help me or take care of me. And it's like, that's not a healthy way to live. And also if that's like the parent, like the foundation of your life, telling you can't have your feelings, that is...
Your feelings are not valid. Yeah, that's...
You should be able to try on every feeling under the sun, especially as a kid, because then that creates a healthy adult who knows how to express themselves and communicate and like be there for somebody else, let alone themselves. Like, it's just like all that to say, like, I sympathize. That is brutal. And then the feeling, the push and pull of like, you're bad for me. You are doing bad things to me, but you're my dad.
Yeah.
And I want a relationship with you.
Ugh.
Yeah, like no matter how terrible a parent is, that's all anyone ever seeks is that, especially when it's the one person you want that from, to not be
Yeah.
able to get that.
Man, yeah, this is,
I'll
I mean,
cry.
I know this is, it's like, it's very relatable for me too, just because I'm very much like, it's a classic trope of like kids who had a mentally ill parent, especially like manic depressive or bipolar. Like, I always want to be like the rescuer. I always want to, if someone's down, I want to cheer them up to the point where I had this buddy in college was like, you need to let me be sad. Stop trying to cheer me up, Jayse.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not wanting to be cheered up. And I'm like, but that's all I know is that like, okay, the whole energy of the house is off because
Let me fix it.
yeah, let me fix it. What did I do wrong? And then you
Oh my God,
internalize, and
dude.
isolation
We're
was
the
my thing. That was like,
same.
okay, I'm just gonna go be alone and play Legos in my room for 4 hours, or I'm gonna cut school because like I just don't want to be around anyone. I just want to be
Yeah.
alone.
I still do that.
Definitely hadn't. I always want to cry when I'm with Beba, so I'm just gonna steer out of this before I start crying.
Well, what advice would you have?
My advice. Well, my advice is twofold. One, I think the most important thing is because your feelings are probably not safe when you're with your father, or even like the idea of being with him, you need to prioritize yourself, meaning you have to prioritize your feelings. Validate them, feel them. Remember that they move through you. If you're like so mad at your dad, so mad, and then there's also sadness in there and you want to cry and you want to scream, let all that come out. Don't be afraid of it. Don't push it down. Let it come out. Feelings move through us. They don't stay there. And I think a lot of people get really scared to feel something that's anything other than joy or happiness. Let it come out. Realize that it's going to move out. And then you're going to feel so much better. And it's going to help you start kind of like breaking down that wall that's built. It kind of just like helps you connect closer to yourself. And also because parents like narcissistic parents see their kids as an extension of them.
Yes.
So it's like if my son is doing well, so that means I'm doing well.
Yes.
And if you're doing bad, my son sucks, and then I'm going to like lash out on you.
That's why you see the parents just like tackle a ref when the kid doesn't get the right call.
Yeah. It's just everything is so personal to them when it's like, that's your kid. They're not you. They're a person that you birthed and then you're letting out into the world. What a beautiful thing. Like, don't try to control them.
But they can't separate that.
They can't separate
in their brain, it literally is a mental health
It really
condition.
is.
Like
so I think like validating your feelings is going to make you realize, okay, I'm my own person. I have my own feelings about this. I'm moving through them. Like it sort of like sets you back into your body. That's my first piece of advice. Prioritize yourself. And then my second is you have to set a boundary with your dad. Like if you want to have a relationship with him, you have to know and I'm sure you already do, there are probably triggers that you have with him. Like he probably has things that like she says something and it sets him off and it makes him be like, I don't want to have a relationship with you. I'm posting on Facebook or whatever the hell he's doing. He sounds like a psychopath.
Yeah. And who still uses Facebook?
It's insane.
Parents and grandparents are who are using Facebook.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I found out people are using LinkedIn. Do you use LinkedIn?
No.
Okay.
Yes,
thank you.
You should be on LinkedIn.
Okay. She tells me
you should.
No, I am on LinkedIn, but I'm not like,
I've never
I
had,
was
like, a
scrolling
corporate
Instagram,
job
TikTok,
either.
and now LinkedIn.
I read LinkedIn every day.
I should. Okay, so I want to be
Really?
more like Nicole anyway, so I'm just gonna.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish. Have you seen how she lives?
No,
She's always having fun.
Trust
it
me.
seems like. Yeah.
I'm gonna single white female her. I digress. Whatever it is that like sets him off, whatever. Just know you kind of have to like. Actually, a friend of mine told me this recently. You have to. I don't know the term exactly, but it's almost like becoming a gray wall. So like, don't be so emotional. If you want to have a relationship with your dad, you can't have like a super, super, super authentic one that's like super true and here's all my feelings and I'm spilling my guts. If they're asking you a question, you have to be like, yeah, really good. Like, how's work? Really good. Thanks. And then like put it back on them. How are you? How's your job?
You just gotta let him be a narcissist.
You gotta sort of let him be a narcissist.
Huh. So what's the point?
If you want to keep him in your life.
Okay.
One other really nice thing that I feel like has developed a lot in society lately is the idea of found family. And I don't feel like...
Explain that to me. Is that just like you found your tribe? You found your people?
found your tribe
Okay,
and you can like build... in a way that like it didn't really feel like people could build families before, and I feel like that's why the 70s erupted in the way it did with like communes and like the idea of like actually finding your tribe and finding people outside of like the bubble that you're told that you have to be a part of. And so like within your world, reach out and try and find other people who can help you deal with a lot of these emotions and you could actually talk to on like a real basis.
Yeah.
Izzy I said in one of the Sound Advice episodes, she has a bad relationship with her dad. And she's like, I found a father figure in my uncles.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are people in your life, found family. There'll be people in your life who may come in later or are there now that could act as a sort of father figure to you. It doesn't just because like they have dad attached
100%.
to them doesn't mean that.
If you have family, please, reach out to them. I do not have a dad. He was not a part of my life since I was 2. My mom has 5 brothers and then 1 married-in brother. They all 6 of them.
Those are your dads.
And my grandpa, like I lived with until I was 5. He is my dad.
Yeah.
So like everyone else, my uncles were my dads.
That's
so
everyone
stepped
beautiful.
up. So that's why I'm not in jail.
Amen.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Do you have any other advice for her?
I mean, if you can, if you're able to get any like free counseling or any like actual like a professional that you could talk to who can deal with a real mental health issue, which is narcissism, because I'm a reactor and I want you to have an amazing life and I want you to be okay dealing with something like that on your own when you sound like you're pretty young. That sounds like a really insurmountable task for someone in your position, and I hope that you have some resources that you can have access to help you out. And I wish you could be here so that I could just hug you. And
Jayse will be your dad.
Well, I feel for you. And honestly, like I hear the pain in your voice.
I know.
And thank you for watching and subscribing and, you know, looking to us for advice. But that's a really hard position that you're in, and we feel for you.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point. None of us are therapists.
Yeah.
We're not.
I'm an amateur chiropractor. I've not paralyzed anyone yet.
Okay.
I'd
like you to do some cracking of my back.
I'm an amazing back cracker.
I can't wait.
Oh, I'm unbelievable.
We're going to do that when we cut the camera.
Let's go.
But, you know, we do this to sort of bring like joy and conversation and community. But you're right. There are a lot of professionals
that could definitely help.
Help more.
Yeah.
But
because that's
watch him say exactly what I said.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, you were giving very sound advice.
Thank you so much. That's why I have this show.
Yeah.
So
I feel privileged to be on here just to offer some quips.
You are.
I know, Beba.
All right, let's get into the comment section. We have a comment section. So we've heard a lot from Jayse. We've heard a lot from Nicole Plackey. We've heard a lot from me. Now we want to hear from you guys. We are going into the comment section. So every time we drop a video of sound advice on YouTube, you guys write comments. We screenshot some of them and then we read them on this show. It's so fun and crazy. Nicole, read us a comment.
All right. From the My Friend Married the Wrong Guy episode.
We have fun here. Go on.
The titles of the episodes are the best part.
That's the Izzy episode, right?
Yeah.
I was the complete opposite when it came to my marriage. My late husband proposed to me after a year of dating. I knew that we would get married eventually. I did not see it coming that quickly, so it was a huge surprise. On our wedding day, people kept asking us if we were nervous. I had absolutely no nerves. I was so relaxed. When we were together nearly 20 years before he passed. Oh. Wait.
Yeah, he passed away because she said
what
late
a
husband.
Turn.
She said late husband in the beginning.
Okay. Oh. I thought he was just always late.
This is LA.
Yeah.
I just assumed he was late for stuff.
Traffic is
God, Barb was all backed up again.
I'm sorry, this got sad. We were together nearly 20 years before he passed away, and I don't think I will ever date or remarry. He was definitely my soulmate. Aww. When you know, you know.
Oh.
That's really beautiful. And I love when people share stories like that. But what? She's never going to date again?
Yeah. What? But why? You don't think that person would have want you to have love as well?
Yeah.
Or someone to take care of you as you get older? It's pretty tough when you get older.
Listen,
right?
The first movie I worked on was P.S. I Love You. And it was like I don't know if you saw that movie.
Of course. Devastating movie.
Devastating movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Very
but,
sad.
Hilary Swank's husband knows that he's going to die. And so basically in the last year before his death, he writes her a scavenger hunt.
Oh my God, that sounds so Nicole.
And
that's like what Kale would do. Kale would do that for you for sure.
So every month she got a letter, and he basically did that to help her move on with her life so that she would be able to find love again.
I can't explain to you the amount of goosebumps I have on my body.
Oh,
I'm like going to go home and write a whole scavenger hunt for my husband in case I die.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I feel like you need to.
Guys,
yeah.
We're putting too much bad juju in the air. Also, I was going to say that's
no one's dying. No one's dying.
That movie is so Nicole-coded, and I was like, it's so Nicoded.
Nicoded. That is totally Nicoded.
Okay, what's another comment?
She's like, there's an escape room, honey. Okay, you can, once you get out, you'll find the next clue.
The escape room, but it's like Saw. He has to cut out his heart. Try and find love again without your heart, you little.
All right, from my BFF turned into my enemy.
Again, we like to have fun here.
From Virtual Scrapbook Media. If someone walks out of your life, most likely they won't come back. So don't get your hopes up they'll come back.
Okay, some realness.
I feel like that's actually true.
I think it's actually true.
I can't really think of anyone that's walked out of my life that's came back. Dad's still waiting to hear from you, buddy. So laugh at my pain. It's okay.
No, I appreciate a realist like this because I think it's true. And I think it's for the best. If somebody walks out of your life.
I just thought of an example. Sorry.
Go. No. Go, please. Please.
What about stay with me for a second. When you are dating someone, and then I don't know what name you guys have for this. We called it the retap. Like it was like you go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not broken up fully yet. So that person walked out of your life, but then you're like
closure.
6 months later, you're like, we're gonna hook up one more time, maybe a few more times. Maybe we start dating again for a few weeks. Then we break up again.
Yeah, then it's a real breakup.
Then we do it one more time, and then the last time they're like, I can't keep doing that, Jayse. Not me personally, but.
Okay.
What was the question?
Yeah, next comment.
I'm sorry.
And then, Beba, you were talking about a comment that was on the last episode that we just filmed with Nick.
Yeah. Everybody who's watching this, just pause after I say this. There's a comment on the episode we just dropped with Nick.
The Nick.
A great episode, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it's... Whoa.
Hey, how are you?
That literally sounded like he was in the room. I'm going to read it. I'm pulling up my phone because it's one of the best comments I've...
See, we read the comments. We read the comments, and they do affect us.
We really read the comments.
Yeah.
And by the way...
And I'm up in there. I get up in those comments.
I need you to know also, this doesn't affect me in a negative way. This makes me LOL. And it's going to make you LOL. Ready?
Okay, let me hear it.
It's from @progressive_Canadian.
She sounds nice.
Yeah.
A.
It also has the Canadian flag on the picture, which it's a little much. We get it. Canada.
She's gone backpacking. Didn't
yeah.
want people to think she was from the U.S.
Also,
we get
this
it.
feels like a boy, just because boys are usually mean.
Oh.
That's just data. It's real data.
You called me ugly the last time we were in a podcast together, so I think girls are mean too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, ready? I don't know what it is about Beba, but every time she's on, I'm out. She might be a lovely person in the studio, but her on-screen presence just doesn't do it for me. And yeah, I'm going to say it. The name doesn't help. It's not even the name itself.
The name doesn't help. Oh my God.
No, wait, there's more. It's not even the name itself, really. It's the way she pronounces it. Beba. Like she's auditioning to be a luxury car or something. Beba might have been cool, but here we are. Anyways, just venting. Anyone else feeling this, or am I shouting into the void? I love it so much.
I'm feeling it. Progressive Canadian.
Progressive _
Canadian 1A Poutine.
Let me tell you.
I am digging that. I feel it. Yeah, Beba's a bit pretentious with her freaking name with the Beba.
Annoying. By the way, Progressive Canadian, thank you for that comment. I will be reading that at Thanksgiving dinner. I'll be reading that at Christmas morning. Like, you just gave me so much content for my family. I love stuff like that. Leave a mean comment. I don't care. I love it.
Specifically to Beba.
Yeah, do it. Not to Jayse. He's
not
very
to me.
fragile.
I'm very fragile. I'm a delicate flower.
If you guys have any comments, leave them down here. We'll read them in upcoming episodes.
Or any advice for any of the...
Yes. If you have dealt with a narcissistic dad and you're like, no, I actually have better advice, please leave it in the comments and we will read it in a couple episodes from now. Yeah. Should we do
If you have any advice on where I can find my dad, you guys just leave that in the comments down here
And if you have a login info for OnlyFans, you can just privately message that to Jayse.
Oh, to me? Oh, I thought that was for you. Yeah,
no,
okay.
I'm doing that for you.
Oh, that's for me?
Okay, so now is the part of the show where we ask you what your unsolicited advice is. We've given sound advice, and now we're asking for unsolicited. And this doesn't have to do with OnlyFans or narcissism, just sort of words you live by, something somebody told you one time that you really latched onto.
Okay, I got that.
Okay.
When I first got signed to an agency to do voiceover, I booked a job like 2 weeks after getting signed. I was recording it on my iPhone on my bed with blankets over the top, right? Like had no equipment, whatever. I booked the job and I was so nervous. I'm like, I had to go into Cisco, which is like a, they do like computer systems up in the Bay. And I went into like their offices, their headquarters or whatever, and they have this beautiful sound system. And I call my agent. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little nervous, to be honest. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And he just gave me the Aerosmith advice, which was fake it till you make it. And I was like, oh.
That's life,
just
baby.
that? And he goes, just act like you've been there 100 times. If you have a question, shoot me a text real quick if it's that. He's like, you've got this. Just be confident. And I was like, confidence is key, baby.
Confidence is
sexy.
Confidence is sexy.
And confidence is fake until it's not. You have to talk yourself into confidence until suddenly you're confident.
Yeah.
I'm
gas
serious.
yourself up.
Gas yourself up.
Toss the mat.
All right, what did we learn today?
What did we learn? By the way, great unsolicited advice. Fake it until you make it.
Thank you. Yeah. That works?
That's beautiful.
Okay. That was it? I did it?
What did we learn today?
Okay, we learned that obviously Beba gives fantastic advice for being an unlicensed therapist, and that I learned that also we really care about our React fans. I already knew that, but I think that we care about them even on an emotional level.
No, deeply.
Which is it's pretty awesome. We want you in those comments. We want to interact with you,
even if they're bad.
It's great.
It literally, there is a sense of community here, especially on this particular show. There is something about somebody calling in to say, can you help me? Whether it's genuine or not, whether it's people being like, I just want to hear my voice on the show, which I don't think it's that, because people really call in to say real things. Yeah. That to me within itself is like, wow, like we have created a space where people feel comfortable enough to do that. And then beyond that, the comments are always like, wait, I feel this way and I feel that way, or let me help you. This is my advice. It's like, wow, what a beautiful community we have. That's like amazing.
So supportive.
It's so supportive. I really do. It's like genuinely, it's feel good stuff.
It gives me early love line
onset
vibes.
dementia.
No,
I don't know.
Like love line. You know what I mean? Like where you're calling in, like, but like much more, progressive Canadian, and Beba, that luxury automobile that we all hate.
And I'm just gonna say it. The name doesn't help.
Just gonna say it.
I'm obsessed
the name
with that.
Doesn't help.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah,
the problem is you just dropped a reference that I don't think most of our audience
Love
knows,
line?
which is so sad.
Oh, I know.
We'll pull up a photo or something like that right here.
Like,
that
here
line
we
used
go.
to be a
Dr. Drew.
But I wish we could do this live. To have people call in. How unhinged and chaotic would that be?
I would
if you ever do,
that.
please let me be a part of that. That would be amazing.
Do you guys want to see a sound advice live? I don't know if you do.
Let us know in the comments.
It would be chaotic. Okay, we learned about you loving the React family. That's
absolutely.
I learned that you had a dad.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
Or just not a dad.
Or not a dad.
He just wasn't there. He
not
was like,
a dad.
Not
is
my
also
kid.
A dad. Yeah.
But he was.
Wait, what's the
your
thing?
kid.
We also learned a new terminology.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, crank and hog.
Crank and hog.
Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't like crank and hog?
We're walking away from this
Big hog
episode.
cranker myself. I just like cranking hog.
No.
Nope, too much.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And be sure to also go find Sound Advice on Amazon Music, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and give us 5 stars. It really does help us out. Having us on all of those places, having you guys comment and interact with it helps keep this show going. And it is a thing that we do genuinely need. We love you guys for it. So please keep doing it.
Please do it. Don't be weird about it. Just go do it. Great. Should we touch tips to leave?
No.
Let's
Phone
touch
number.
tips?
Phone number.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we touch tips, let me tell them the phone number.
Yeah. All right. Give one more CTA to call in.
Okay.
And call in and text.
Remember that you can call or text our phone number and leave your problem so we can give you advice on the upcoming episodes. The phone number is, whoa, did I forget it? No, I remember it. Did I forget it?
867-5309.
No. It's 80. Hold on. It's 805-601-7259. Yes. I will never forget it.
801-605-7259.
Hey, let's touch tips to leave. Bye.
Next time on Sound Advice.
We are going to be taking holiday-themed questions from your favorite reactors.
I accidentally wore this today, and it just worked out.
You always wear this.
I know.
Every Wednesday,
They
you're
make
always
me-
in this.
They always make me take it off.
See you there.